I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to get off and watch the rugby, which is paused at the moment. A pretty big game, if you like your rugby, today, so England against Wales. As for the West Ham game, Everton won, West Ham United won. I think a result that suited both Graham Potter and David Moyes. And the reason I'm a little bit late for this one, I did sort of wait around for the last couple of minutes just to see David Moyes on the pitch. And it's nice to see him. I'm pleased to get this game out of the way. I've got no ill feeling towards Moyes. I want him to do well. I was really happy with what he did for West Ham winning the trophy. It was really nice to see the fans clapping him. It was really nice to see him interacting with the fans. And I sort of, well, if you watch the build-up show that I did with Gio, I sort of had a little inkling that Thomas Soucek was going to score. And I'd mentioned it earlier on in the week. And I thought if he did, then I sort of imagined Moyes going up to him, yeah, you. And that's what happened. So I actually thought it was quite nice to see, to be honest with you, and see the way he was with Paqueta and everybody else, and see Ollie Scholes going up to him. And it's nice. And I hope it just gets left now by the media. It would have been really nice to win that game. Don't get me wrong. It would have been really, really nice to win that game. And we probably deserved to win it. I think we did deserve to win it, just about. It was a game of Moyesball by both managers, by the way. I sort of had, as we were getting right towards the end, and they must have scored on 90 minutes, something like that. O'Brien scored. And I sort of had it in my mind, out Moyesed or something like that. I was going to title this video. I'll have to title it something else now, I guess, because I think that's what Potter did. But I was happier with this than what we saw against Newcastle, probably because Newcastle are better than Everton, maybe. Everton didn't really attack us in the second half until they needed to. Felt very Moyes-like, actually. I've seen us do that under him so many times, and then when it gets desperate at the end, there's a big chase. That's what they did. It worked out. He got the draw on it. As I say, that he was happy. I think Potter's happy enough. No, Potter did not need to lose this, and Moyes really didn't need to lose it. I'm not saying the two managers conspire to agree on the outcome. Far from it. West Ham was so close to winning that. We would talk about the players. Actually, the flow of the game. So first half, maybe a game of two halves. Certainly at the start of the first half, Everton were really pressing. They were doing not dissimilar to what Newcastle were doing. They're just not as fast as Newcastle are, and we were able to handle it a little bit better. They were trying to stop us pass out from the back, but after about 20 minutes, we were managing it. We were passing through the press, and I felt they'd stopped pressing with the same sort of level of intensity. There were less long balls from Areola, which is just as well, but they immediately put us under pressure. I think possibly Mavropanos passed back to Areola, who had, but yeah, there was some interesting, a few hairy moments in defence, but not too much. One particularly good recovery tackle from Kilman was really good, and the defenders started to grow into the game, and then they sort of nullified Everton, and actually right up until the end, we'll get to Mavropanos properly at the end, but by and large, for over 90 minutes or 89 minutes, absolutely fine from Mavropanos, and actually Todibo and Kilman, pretty damn good, actually. In midfield was interesting. Actually, I thought they both played well. I thought Ward-Prowse played well. I thought some of his long-range passing was excellent. I thought the first corner he did in the game was really good. Soucek was outstanding. Not his passing. I mean, this is the funny thing with Soucek. He can often have a bad game, and he only made 8 passes his previous game. Then have an outstanding game. I've not looked at the stats. We'll look at the stats tomorrow when the scouting report comes through and all the stuff there. We'll have a look at that on Patreon. But lots of headers, lots of clearances, lots of tackles. Soucek got moved forward more, so it was Paqueta further forward in the first half. Second half, Soucek was far further forward, and he very much announced his intent by his involvement in a game where he played a really neat pass to Emerson and sort of overlapped and gone into the 18-yard box and put a really decent ball across for Jarrod Bowen, who sort of tried a bicycle kick but kicked it. He sort of fluffed his lines a bit, kicked it into his own hands. But that showed how far forward Thomas Soucek was. Very shortly afterwards, he called for a penalty. It wasn't a penalty. Actually, crikey. They almost had a penalty. Sorry, I digress. I wasn't going to forget. They almost had a penalty. They gave a penalty to the referee. Then they had to go and VAR it, which is rightly so. They blamed Mavropanos for hacking Beto down. He hadn't. Beto just kicked the ground, basically. Anyway, so back to Thomas Soucek. So he was in their box, almost winning a penalty, setting up Emerson, who then went on to play a really good ball over to Jarrod Bowen. And then he scored the goal. Nice wing play. Jarrod Bowen on the left wing. I've got lots to say about individual players, about Potter's tactics. We've got 2 weeks without a game. So we'll go into that. I want to talk about Jarrod Bowen and the fact that he's just not playing in his favourite position. But he sort of grew into this game a bit and started appearing more on the left-hand side. Nice little bit of wing play from him. Played it to Soucek. It was... How many times have I said this about Soucek? Technique, in terms of his first touch and his passing in midfield, is often shocking and terrible and poor. He made one pass in this game. He passed it out for a goal kick. It was awful. Yet, get him into the box, and honestly, he turns, I don't know, take your play, he turns from Carlton Palmer into Ronaldinho. Right? A touch of a genius. First touch, beautiful, curled finish. He sort of scored like a Thierry Henry goal. But you shouldn't be surprised. His technique for finishing, I don't know what it is. Maybe when he's got no time to do it, and it's, I don't know. But anyway, top quality technique. Scored the goal, 1-0. Thought it was going to be the winner. Let's be fair. We all thought that was going to be the winner, didn't we? And then afterwards, you just put in this shift in defence, heading it out, blocking, tackling. Thomas Soucek was immense. My man of the match, by the way. So yeah, that was good. Paqueta, he improved things. Just having an additional passer in there helped. He wasn't at his best, but it helped definitely. For he added some fluidity to the passing of the team. Mohamed Kudus worked his arse off. He worked his arse off. I mean, what a shift, what a stint. And again, talking about the end, it was nice. It was nice to see him with Moyes. I think that was, it was nice. Ultimately, it was quite a boring game. I haven't looked at the stats yet. Well, in fact, I know we would have had more than 2 shots on target, so I asked for an improvement. We've got that. But I'm not going to look at those stats and find we had 10 shots on target. It felt like an improvement on the Newcastle game. And I don't think that's an easy game. I don't think going to Goodison Park is particularly easy. So, yeah, I thought pretty much everyone did well. Everyone did well. I'm going to get on to Mavropanos, and this I'm going to finish. I'm going to go watch rugby now. Mavropanos played really well for 89 minutes. I thought Todibo was very good. I thought Kilman was very good. Kilman set up a beautiful chance for Bowen in the first half, striding down through the midfield, lots of headers away. Just good performance. And Todibo was meant to be taken off after 65 minutes, but West Ham scored. He was going to do loads of substitutions. Potter, Todibo scored. Soucek scored. We went 1-0 up. He kept Todibo on. So Todibo played more or less the game. I think he was substituted with 90 seconds left or something like that. But he played the game. Everton's equaliser. Just Mavropanos. He just lost his man. It was O'Brien. I'd need to see it again. I think Idrissa Gueye was unmarked and he sort of half volleyed it back into the danger area. I need to look again and see who should have. Positionally, you would say it would have been Emerson that should have been there, but I'd need to look through it again. It all happened right at the end. I'm trying to rush down here and do a video. What was clear was the person that was marked. It wasn't that Mavropanos didn't pick up his man, which was O'Brien, who went on to score the equaliser. He did have his man. He just got done. O'Brien was just better than Mavropanos. It was a real shame because I felt it was his first real mistake of the game, and it's a shame. I had been thinking about it, thinking, he's done well here. He's come through the whole game and not made an error. Immediately afterwards, within less than a minute after he's conceded a goal at a kick-off, he's let the ball run through his legs as well. They could have got a winner. A double mistake at the end. Oh, mate, I feel sorry for him. I was sort of writing a blog at the same time, and I was like, I'd delete it. I'd written, the normally calamitous, no calamities for Manos today. Right, delete that. Anyway, I don't overly want to pick him up because I do think those are the small margins in football. For 89 minutes, he was decent. He wasn't as good as Kilman or Todibo, but he'd done okay. He justified Potter's decision to take Cresswell out and put him in. They got some big old boys, Everton, some big old boys there. It wasn't a great performance. It wasn't a great spectacle. I think it was a good result. For all things considered, away to Goodison Park. We know what that was like last season at Upton Park. They're all saying goodbye to Goodison Park, and that's going to give you an extra spring in your step, isn't it? The whole Moyes thing, Moyes West Ham, the whole media thing of West Ham have made a mistake, and look, I want Graham Potter to be better than David Moyes. Who doesn't? What West Ham fan doesn't? And what I don't want is people wagging their finger at us. So I just wanted to get that one out of the way. We don't have to worry about that until next season. And so that's a good thing. We definitely had a little bit more fluidity for the extra attacker. I guess you could call Lucas Paqueta an attacker. He's an attacking-minded player, however, even if you don't consider him to be an attacker. He was very deep in the second half. Evan Ferguson got on. I don't know. He might have played a few seconds. Anyway, there you go. It's that feels a little bit better, and I do think he is definitely. I'm not going to say he's fixed the defence because you just don't know. That's quite a bold statement, but he's made big improvements to defence, Potter. There's no doubt about that. Clean sheet against Arsenal, clean sheet against Leicester. Yeah, I know it's Leicester. 1 goal conceded against Newcastle, 1 goal conceded against Everton. I'll do the maths for you. That's 2 goals conceded in 4 games. That's significantly better than what was happening before. And I just want him to start layering it up now and doing some bits and pieces in attack. So yeah, interesting. Anyway, there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll be back tomorrow talking about something or other. I'm going to go watch the rugby now. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Weekend's not been spoiled, is it? I think West Ham can spoil your weekend, or they can make your weekend. I'm not cock a hoop. I'm not, I'm not doing a dance about any of that. But yeah, we get away and we take that. There's big improvements to be made. Make no mistake about it. But yeah, Everton were all right in that first half, and then they only really put their foot on the gas at the very end of the second half. But we know what Moyes is like. He does that, and I think in many respects, the two managers I think played each other pretty damn well in this one.